One in particular was a standout in that a 12 seed has upset a number 2 seed in the division, if I'm not mistaken, district semifinals. Brush, the Arcs of Brush, beating Akron, St. Vincent, St. Mary in a very tightly knit game. Just a few weeks after Akron, St. Vincent, St. Mary said a comfortable win over the Arcs. So, Mitch, I mean, take me through that one, man. This is a fascinating development. And now Brush has the opportunity to make some serious smoke in the East tournament.
The 13-10 overall Brush Arcs, may I add, Mitch, they took out St. Vincent St. Mary last night, who was the number 2 overall seed in the Division 1 Super District. Now, this is the Northeast 3 bracket. So Brush, you mentioned, had just lost 58-40 a few weeks ago to St. Vincent St. Mary last night. And listen, Brush at 13-10, Mitch, that record does not really show you how good they are. They played a very tough schedule. And the reason, so they could be battle tested for games like last night. Brush is very talented. They have a Pitt commit on that team. I believe they also have a Kent State recruit on that team. They're flooded with talent. But you're talking about St. Vincent St. Mary, Division II state champs. They have run Division II for years. Now they hop up to Division I this year. And Mitch, they did not really struggle all year. And it had kind of been a thought that, oh, St. V's is going to show that it doesn't matter what division they're in. They're going to run this thing until they, meet a foe, potentially Stowe, a team that beat them in the regular season. That was the only seed higher than them in the Super District. But no, not anymore. Last night, Brush defeats Akron St. Vincent St. Mary 42-37 in the Division I Northeast 3 District semifinal game. Brush advances as the 12 seed. They are the highest remaining seed left in the field for Division I out of the Northeast 1, 2, and 3 bracket. And Mitch, I mentioned before, you kind of throw the seeds out once you get to the district round because it just means these teams are playing better than other teams. And you got to experience it last night firsthand. Brush gets revenge on St. V's. And now they await the winner in the Northeast 3 district bracket of Louisville and Walsh Jesuit that's played tonight. Mitch, there were a lot of people that kind of thought we were going to get a St. Vincent St. Mary versus Louisville rematch from last year. Keep in mind, both those teams last year were Division II. They played in the regional final last year, and St. V's ended up, really handedly defeating Louisville in the regional final en route to what was another state championship for the Fighting Irish. That's no longer. Louisville and Walsh Jesuit play tonight at, I believe, Euclid High School.
Yes.
And the winner now will take on Brush, which Brush, Mitch, is not too far from Euclid. So you have to imagine that gym on Saturday when the district championship is played will have more Brush fans there than either Louisville or Walsh Jesuit. Obviously, Walsh Jesuit closer to Euclid High School than Louisville is, but Brush is about a 10 to 15 minute drive. That's a high school that was right behind the campus of college I went to. And Euclid was about a 15-minute drive from campus. So that is going to practically end up being a home game, although they'll be the road team on the scoreboard being a 12 seed. But if you're Brush, you have to feel really great about where you are. You just beat a team that beat you, and now you get to sit back for a night. I would imagine the coaching staff and possibly the players will go to the semifinal game tonight between Louisville and Walsh Jesuit. And you have now a chance to punch your ticket come Saturday to the Sweet 16, which is going to be awesome. But I think the bigger thing here, Mitch, is Brush held St. Vincent St. Mary to 37 points, 21 points less than what St. V scored against them, I believe, on February 11th. That's a huge difference. It would have been something if they would have beat them 61-60. But to hold a team that you lost to 58-40 to 37 points, which I have to imagine, I don't have the stats or numbers in front of me, is one of their lowest point totals of the season. That's extremely impressive. Hats off to the Brush Arcs. Congratulations on getting the district championship. And really, Mitch, our first big upset that we've seen pulled. We were close in another district bracket, but this one is the actual first upset that's been pulled so far.
No doubt. And some of the numbers I do have here via the News Herald, the Arcs played very good defense, but St. Vincent St. Mary's had a really tough shooting in the first half. They were 3 of 23 in the first half from the field, finished 12 of 54 from the game. That's 22% shooting, which is not a great performance, but you had some standouts there. You mentioned one of the commits for the Arcs, a Pittsburgh commit for the Brush squad, Marlon Barnes having 17 points. I just realized when I said that too. I really hope, and this is like no disrespect to Marlon if he's listening to this right now. Do you know of the basketball player known as Bad News Marvin Barnes in the NBA?
I've heard of it.
Played in the
No, I do
70s.
not.
He was a standout. I can't remember what college he played at, but he was with the Celtics for a little bit. I think it was with Buffalo too. I really, really hope that somebody can make that his nickname if that's not the case. But that's neither here nor there. St. Vincent-St. Mary's did make a bit of a run in the second half. They were down 20-14 at halftime, and then they ended up taking the lead 37-36 at some point in the game. But the Arc stood strong. They took back the lead with about a minute left, and then they got a wide open look to be able to get a dunk. I believe it was Barnes making that one to make it 40-37, and then they just ended up shooting free throws for the rest of the night. So it's a great win for them. They either going to take on a Louisville team they have not yet played this season, who is obviously got one of the top players in the area, Will Aljancic. But then Walsh Jesuit, it's funny, Walsh Jesuit actually handed the Arcs their first loss of the season this year. It was 46-39 back on November 27th. And then I went through all the teams that you mentioned, Mitch, that Brush had faced all year. When you see 13-10, you're thinking, oh, I mean, it's not really that great a team. They'll be bounced eventually. They took on teams like St. Edwards and lost 54-47. Richmond Heights 75-70. Richmond Heights is still undefeated, 24-0. You texted me last night. That's insane.
40,
I think they'll be what?
44 consecutive victories for Richmond Heights, Mitch, and their top three players, sophomores, 2025 grads. The Richmond Heights basketball team, folks, they are ranked 45th nationally in the country. If you have an opportunity to go see Richmond Heights play, I would strongly recommend getting out there because what's going on there is extremely special. There was just a short mini special on WKYC by Nick Camino, Mitch.
All that.
I highly recommend people getting out to see this team play because they are loaded with talent, and their coach in that special, Mitch, talked about the guys don't come in here talking about, oh, we've won 44 in a row. The guys don't come in here talking about we're defending state champions, I believe, in Division 4. It's, hey, let's play basketball. Let's have fun today. And when you play a team, Mitch, that's it, they're that talented and they're that loose. Boy, oh boy. If they can, when they flip a switch, when that ball goes up, that's a dangerous team. And there's a reason they've won 44 consecutive games and they're going for back-to-back state championship wins. Obviously they have a few more wins to get, but I'm happy you mentioned that because that's a team, Mitch, that although they're Division 4, I have a hard time believing they wouldn't be able to win a Division 1 state championship with how loaded they are.